I'd like to start this video off by saying I am not a financial advisor. Should you choose to invest in Bitcoin or any other asset, to do your own research or seek the advice of an actual financial advisor. Now, as I'm sure you are all aware, we have managed to break out of this falling wedge, and now we've pumped all the way up to the 200 daily moving average, kind of ignoring. It kind of ignored these indicators, which it tends to happen, but this indicator right here, the stochastic RSI, was actually calling for a pump, along with the breakout of this falling wedge. So those two indicators would tell you that, hey, the price is going up soon. Now, what happens next depends on what happens with this 200 daily moving average. If we reject, we're coming back down, and okay, I'm tired as a motherfucker, and yeah, I'm probably gonna fuck up a lot in this video, but anyways, we tested the 200 daily moving average back here, and another test of it again. Both of these tests would make it weaker, so even if we do not break it this time, and when we come back down, and then we come back up and we test it again, that will likely break it. But there's another thing that I've been noticing too. We've actually been caught between one 200 daily moving average and another, except the other one is the 200th exponential moving average. So yeah, it's kind of a weird situation. And if this keeps bouncing around between the two, those two are going to converge eventually, and it's going to tighten that bounce up, and it's just going to lead to some weird ass breakout, probably in the upward direction or the downward direction. Hopefully the upward direction, but let's hope we don't have to drag this out in that scenario. Let's just hope that we can either break it now, or we can come down, test that support again, and then come back up and then break it. We do not need all that. We do not need all that extra shit. So yeah, we're gonna look at this MACD here on the daily just to see what this pump actually did to it, because if this thing will cooperate. Remember, I am on mobile. There we go. Yeah, see, that pump actually is causing this MACD to it caused it to go right back up, and now it's going to converge and cross bullish here real soon, probably within the next 2 days, maybe 3 days. Yeah, if this would have followed through by normal standards, it should have kept on going down, and then of course made across something like that. But that pump caused it and the BitMEX funding rate to go back up. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens there. It just depends. Like I said, it depends on what it does here at the 200 daily moving average. All right. Okay, this 4-hour time frame gives us a better look at what actually happened. Not only did we break out of this falling wedge pattern, but we did seem to put in a rounded bottom, which is actually a reversal pattern. And yeah. Okay, I wanted to bring you all out to the monthly MACD to show you something. The weekly MACD just recently crossed bullish, but some people are afraid that the monthly MACD is going to cross bearish. And you know what? I'd say that it probably is going to cross bearish. And it's probably going to happen after the close of this candle. And if it does cross bearish, it's not going to be too significant, because look at what happened right here. Let me zoom in on this. See how the lines are starting to run parallel? Yeah, what I'm seeing is if they do in fact cross, they're going to cross, and then they're going to cross back. They're going to cross bearish, and then they're going to probably cross bullish within the next month or two after that. So it's not really going to be anything significant. The MACD that we need to be paying attention to in this case would be, in fact, the weekly, and that one, as you know, has crossed bullish. And as you all know, a bullish cross on the weekly MACD has always led to a run-up afterwards. Not always, but mostly led to a run-up afterwards. And let me make this a little bit bigger. I guess a better look at what's going on here. Yeah, I know my chart is cluttered with trend lines, but oh well. Anyways, looking at the weekly chart here, you can clearly see that we have actually broken out of the falling wedge that we've been in for the longest time. I mean, we've broken out by far. It hasn't been the greatest pump per se, but we are in fact out of that downtrend. And there's one, and the last thing, of course, to get out of this, to say that the reversal has been complete, is getting above that 200 daily moving average and closing above that 200 daily moving average, and of course opening. Oh, wait, I don't know if I'd necessarily say closing above it. I'd say opening and closing a full candle above the 200 daily moving average, at least on a daily. That would signal to me that the reversal is complete. So basically, what I would be looking for is this candle here to pump up a little more at least, and then close, and then another one open and close above the 200 daily moving average. We're going to have some resistance right here, and actually, yeah, this is the next resistance after the 200, well, this resistance right here isn't really a major one, so yeah, if we get above the 200 daily moving average, the next resistance we'll be facing is the one at the $9,400 area. And that one, we can trace it back to the resistance. It was resistance after the President Xi pump when this came back up, and hold on, let's go further back. And it was actually support back here and back here. So yeah, there was some volume traded there. Yeah, there's more support here. So that is the next resistance level after the 200 daily moving average that we would need to get above. And of course, once we get above that, I think I'm gonna redo this whole chart. I'm gonna get rid of some of the shit that's like below here, because I don't really see a need for I don't see a need for any of these lines, this line, this line, this line, this, or even that one. I'll probably end up deleting all that shit, because yeah, my chart is just way too cluttered up. And yes, I know we have actually gotten above the 200 daily moving average before, and when was that? That was during the President Xi pump here, and that wasn't exactly a natural phenomenon. So I wouldn't really count that as anything here, because we ended up, that turned into one big ass bleed out, and it was just horrible. This entire section here just wasn't natural. Anyways, so if we do get above, that's why if we do get above this, holy fuck, can I talk right for once? If we get above this and stay above it, I think we have a better chance of staying above it this time than we did last time, because this is a little bit more natural trading that's been going on than what happened back there during that Chinese pump. So yeah. Alright, I brought us out to a chart that not very many people seem to look at or talk about, as far as anyways. And that is the yearly chart on Bitcoin here. And it shows me a couple things, and it's Bitcoin's history in a nutshell. And as you can see, it's an uptrend. Now, other than that, you can see that every year except 1 year has seen higher lows. The only year that hasn't had a higher low was 2015. But nothing's perfect, and that doesn't break the fact that this is in an uptrend. Now, I've noticed a pattern on this too. It's a fairly simple pattern. I wouldn't exactly base prediction logic on it or anything like that, but you can't deny that this is a pattern. And I'm going to start with the first one. Year of the halving, moderate gains. Year after the halving, fuck ton of gains. Year of the halving, moderate gains. Year after the halving, fuck ton of gains. Now we are on the year of the halving, so we should see moderate gains. And then the year after the halving, we should see a fuck ton of gains according to this pattern. I mean, it's not exactly the best thing to go off of, but you can't deny the pattern is there. Okay, this next thing isn't exactly Bitcoin related, but it does affect technically everybody because it is starting to turn into an epidemic. The coronavirus that everybody's been hearing about. This is a chart that actually shows the cases. These are the cases that are in China, and these are the cases that are outside of China. Inside of China, okay, this is a matter of this is from January 20th to January 26th, and the case count has gone from 300 to roughly, what would that say, 2.7k in a matter of 6 days in China. That's total confirmed cases, and that is likely to keep going up. So this is something that everyone should keep an eye on. Although it doesn't directly, although it has nothing to do with Bitcoin, it may actually affect the price. I've noticed that it is affecting prices on the stock market. I've seen a lot of red recently, and the blame seems to be going to the coronavirus because people were having fears. People in the stock market fear almost everything for some reason, but the coronavirus, that is a legitimate fear. I mean, I'm not trying to instill fear in anybody, but this is something that you should keep an eye on because this virus is not just in China. It's actually in the country that I live in, the United States. There's been like 5 cases or something so far, and it's in a few other countries. Actually, I think I can. Hold on, let me get out of this. Let's go to the global map here. Yeah, as you can see, most of the cases are in this area. In China, there's a case in Australia, there's one in Japan, or 2 in Japan, I don't know how many's in Japan. There's a couple countries surrounding China that it's made it to, and of course in the United States, as you can see, there's a couple cases over here. Actually, let me move my big head out of the way. Right here, you can see mainland China, 2,737 cases. Yeah, hold on, let's scroll down. Total case count. Yeah, I'm not. This map is all screwed up because it's on mobile, but you can. I'll leave the link in the description below to get to this map so that you can have a look at it for yourself. Do be careful out there. Keep an eye on this virus if it gets into your neighborhood. Follow all precautions that they give you. Yeah, I mean, it is a virus. It spreads like the flu virus. I think. I'm not entirely sure, so don't take my word for it. But do all the necessary things that you would do to avoid the regular flu virus or whatever. Like always wash your hands and don't go to really crowded places if you think if the infection has made it to your area. Don't go to crowded places. Just yeah, be careful. That's all I can really say on this. And with that, that is all I have for you guys. I will see you all next time.